Oh shit, what's good? What's good? What's good, yo? Nobody in the damn chat. Been a minute, man. Like I said, last week I haven't really been posting much. I'm not gonna let my people down. The people who really, rock with Frankie like that. Just been working like crazy, man. So, but I still see everything that's going on. What the hell is that? I still see everything that's going on. So, Young Thug did an interview on what the hell is Gilly the Kid's podcast? Everybody's got a podcast. Oh my god! So he went on there and they were talking about rap. And by the way, before he even get to this, he said that he would only do a verses with Wayne. I don't think he's got enough features. I don't think he's got enough classic verses or hits. And I'm not knocking Young Thug. This isn't a Young Thug bash video. If you came here to think that, I'm not bashing him. I don't relate to him. I'm not a fan, but I understand, his place in the culture and how popular he is. Hit that like button if you were watching. So I understand his impact in the culture and whatnot, but he's been throwing his weight around now. He had about a month ago on T.I.'s podcast, he had made those comments about Andre 3000 not having much of an impact on him growing up in Atlanta. And I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of shocking. He could have kept that to himself. And by the way, the only reason people mention Andre 3000 in that top five, conversation is because Jay-Z, pun intended, when they asked Jay-Z about this about 15 years ago, Jay was like, it was like, who's your top five rappers? And Jay was like, oh, put Andre in there, 3000. And then all of a sudden, everybody was like, Andre 3000. I was like, nobody ever looked at him like as a solo artist. He don't got a solo album. So, that saying your idols become your rivals, I guess it's true because it's no different than when AI crossed up Mike. That was his idol growing up, but he had to do him in. You know what I mean? That was one of his first legendary moment. And I guess Young Thug has that same mindset. Your idols become your rivals. So they mentioned Jay, and he was like, "Yeah, I got more hits. I got like 30 hits." I'm like, "What 30 hits?" You know what I mean? When I think of hit records, I think of songs that as soon as they play, as soon as the beat drops, everybody knows what it is. They know the words, and you don't necessarily have to be a diehard fan. You have to be a diehard fan to name 30 Young Thug songs. You have to. And then he keeps on saying, well, when I'm in the stadium, they know every word, every song I play. I'm like, yeah, because they're your fans. Of course they know all of your records. They should. They paid money to see you, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand the mindset of some of these kids. And I don't even say he's a kid. He's 29. Young Thug is 29. Most likely he grew up on Jay-Z just like I did. I know he's not from up north, but yeah. You know what I mean? So he's like, yeah, they know my records. They know my records. I'm like, yeah, they supposed to. But then he goes and backtracks and says, yeah, Jay do got hits, but yeah, I still got 30 more. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't have enough iconic, transcended hits like Jay-Z. Jay-Z got hits from 20 years ago that still will shut down the club right now. You know what I mean? It's like he said, I done forgot more than you ever learned. You could take away 10 hits that Jay-Z has in his catalog and he still would wash Young Thug if they was to do a verses or whatever. You know what I mean? Back and forth, back and forth. Not that it would ever happen because Jay would never entertain somebody that young of that level of stature. But yeah, Young Thug is kind of catching some heat for these comments. And like I say, a rapper, you should feel confident. You should wake up every day and out of bed and you should stick your chest out and you should feel like you the hottest nigga that ever put it out. You know what I mean? Especially when you out here disnaming legends like Andre 3000 and then you saying you think Wayne is the only person qualified to do a verses with you. I'm like, this cat is really feeling himself, man. Like, he is really feeling himself, bro. And of course, he was like, I ain't talking about sales and streaming because he can't sales and streaming. You ain't messing with a lot of big cats. But I mean, your idols become your rivals, and Young Thug sees himself in that space, But I'm like, I would rather see him do this with people in his generation. Challenge Drake. Challenge Travis Scott, challenge, Lil Baby or some of these cats like that. You barking up the wrong tree now. You know what I mean? Let the big boys let them sit at the big table and you go over there to the kids' table. You earned your right, but you ain't earned the stripes yet. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are like, well, he's not respecting the legends of the culture. And this is what a lot of these rap niggas think behind closed doors. This, you got some of them that will say it in front of everybody and probably under the influence of God knows what. I don't even want to know what kind of pills that boy got in his cabinet. I don't want to know what kind of lean that boy be drinking. He clearly is not in a sober state of mind, but that's what he thinks. So let me know what y'all think about Young Thug calling out Jay-Z, saying that he's got more hits than him. Like I said, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna start hitting these videos up like I normally do. You know, I get busy, but I was busy, and I was too busy for this YouTube shit for about a week and some change now. But I'll be back at it, man. Let me know what y'all think. Holla at you.